Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dual Screens Cross-Play Podcast. We are finally back after a 2-week hiatus. I am one of your hosts, Stephen Fontana, and with me, as always, he's over there in the other box. He's Andy Asimakis. How are you, Andy?
I've missed you terribly.
Yes.
So much.
It's been kind of a shitty 2 weeks, I'll be honest.
It has been. A lot of things have happened, which you won't get into.
Here's what we'll do. We'll just say a few keywords as to what happened.
Oh, God. All right.
Overtime, car accident, birthday, sleep,
eBay scam.
Those are the 5 things that you need to know about what happened the last 2 weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Dual Screens Crossplay Podcast, the internet's #1 video game news show starring 2 hosts you've never heard of, probably. The show posts sometimes. That's all I'm going to do. On your favorite podcast service of choice, except not anymore. Maybe. We have some changes coming up, folks. So we may be doing this as an audio podcast only on Patreon, not paid for, just on the free Patreon RSS feed, just so that we can have the Dual Screens Podcast be its own thing that could just live out there, on its own. Just to stop the brand confusion right there. It's too much money for us to host another podcast on the host, so it's better to either have both of them on one feed or just let one kind of live on that feed. So we're still kind of tossing that up in the air, but you could always catch the show live on twitch.tv/dualscreenstreams, just like our viewers right now. Shout out to them. You can see their chat below if you're watching later on YouTube, youtube.com/dualscreenstv. That is still going to live there, always 100%. So we do appreciate that. And of course, if you do want to purchase some extra content, you could do so by going to patreon.com/NDS podcast, just like our Patreon producers, Biggest Girl on Fire, who is currently still in Italy. So thank you for supporting us all the way from Italy. FNH Paul and Colton, the Apprentice Nestler. We appreciate you so very, very much. Now, Andy, this shit is bananas. BANANAS. Okay. We are getting into a quite meaty what we've been playing, which is, of course, the adventures in gaming. Andy, what you been playing?
Oh, God. I'm trying to think. It's been a lot of stuff for the last 2 weeks. I'm trying to boil this down to the hits, the things worth mentioning. First off the bat, I've been playing Unmetal. Unmetal is... Remember those Hot Shots films back in the day?
Yes.
So, it's like a parody or satire on a Rambo kind of thing.
Right.
So imagine that same philosophy applied to a Metal Gear game.
Okay.
And that's what Unmetal
is.
It is a strictly Metal Gear NES style game, which is it's sprite based, so love that off the bat.
Right.
And you play as a soldier named Jesse Fox, who was arrested for a crime he didn't commit.
Right.
And he's got to bust out of his cell. And he's telling this story to a government agency, and his memory isn't the greatest. So as you're playing, he's like, I came across this river and there was, it'll be like alligators or like radioactive monkeys. And you have to pick one.
That's kind of cool.
And then it will populate in the world. And that happens a lot.
That's great.
And sometimes when you think you'll pick like the choice that will better impact you, like there's a boss fight, it's like, and it had 2 tentacles, 4 tentacles, or 6 tentacles. You would think, okay, I'll pick 2 because 2 is less than 6, so it'll be easier. But he'll be like, and it had 24 tentacles.
That's pretty funny.
That's been great.
That's good. I like that.
Loving that. Great game.
It sounds like it sounds like when your friends were explaining to you what Metal Gear was.
Right. It plays like someone who played Metal Gear Solid went back and added all the fun stuff like dragging soldiers or chloroforming them to the old NES games.
That's cool.
It's a lot of fun.
I like that.
Been playing that. Been playing a little bit of ActRaiser.
Yes.
Renaissance. Which I want to love it, but I hate that art style with a passion. It's just I can't. It's like that weird hand-drawn animation thing. It's not a sprite. It's not a 3D asset. It's like some weird thing. And it's very
Like mobile game,
distracting. Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Like they're on the hinges, like
Yeah.
they're like that kind of thing.
So I'm like, I bought this, but I'm not loving it. So
Sorry about that.
there's that. So I'm not gonna. Great soundtrack. I love
Great.
remixes, but not loving.
Not worth it.
Loving,
Not worth it
loving
just for the soundtrack.
A whole lot. Been playing a demo of a game
I'm sorry.
we just had on the show,
Oh yeah.
Chasing Static,
Yes.
the little PS1 horror game coming out on the 14th of October. So
That one might do the PS1 graphics the best I've seen so far.
right, it
really good.
really does the art style a service, because it looks like it torn from the PS1 era, but towards the end of the generation, where folks learn their hardware enough,
It's like
where
Cypher
things
Filton.
yeah, where things look less janky and crunchy.
Yeah.
And finale, I've been playing a game which I love a
Yes.
whole lot,
Yes.
and that is the Kenna and the Bridge.
Kana.
The Kenna.
Kana. Bridge of Spirits.
They don't say your name enough, and the kids
Every
have
sentence.
the kids have the worst voice actors ever in the game.
Oh no, I like them. They're cute.
But aside from that, it's like a modern take on a retro 3D platformer, and it's such a video game. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It has all the staples of a game, like how a quest becomes a quest, or how you do things like, I need 3 of this to open this door.
Yeah.
It's very much a game
Yeah.
that's built off
Yeah.
of like the Zeldas, like Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time. It's got a lot of that. And then when you get the bow and arrow, whew, man, does that shit just come alive. But I'm loving it. It's up there so far for like
Yeah.
game of the year contender for me. It's that fucking good.
Yeah, it's really, really, really well made. It is, the combat's great. There's really, I can't see a true flaw in the actual moment-to-moment combat. My only like real criticism that I could have for it is that it's not that it's too linear, but that the combat scenarios are too linear. It's like, I know where to go, because if I go somewhere and there's bad guys, I didn't go there yet, so I have to go that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not one of those things where it kind of like repopulates, but some areas do, but it's a little bit less fluid than I would like it. But I was obsessed. Like, I beat it. I rolled credits. Like, I loved that game. Truly, I did. Last boss fight was driving me nuts, but I got through it. It was fine. Like, whatever. But yeah, it's definitely up there for game of the year for me too. I still have RE3.
Oh.
That I have to. Well, that's just it's a game I know a lot of people are really liking. So I don't know if, or like some people, I don't know. I'm gonna look at all the game of the year candidates. Based on score.
Sure.
And I'm gonna play them. Because right now another game that just got 10s all over the place. Well, I'm blanking on the game right now, unfortunately, just because it's not on my brain. But like,
is it Deathloop?
No. Deathloop got 10s. No, beforehand, Deathloop, I'm still on the fence on. Like, I don't think I want to dive into Deathloop, but a game. There all the reviews came out today. Shit.
Metroid Dread?
Yes, Metroid Dread. Like, that's gonna be something I'm gonna play absolutely 100%. That's the one. I'm sorry. I'm just totally, like, when I tell you that work has been super stressful, like, it is, my brain is just barely working.
How does one forget Metroid?
Because it's been so long. Like, it's just not a game that I think of. Like,
I know.
Anyway, so yeah, Kana is great. I love it. I recommend it. It's $40. It totally feels like it should be totally full price. Like, it's a beautiful game. I cannot wait to see what this studio does next. I also have been playing A Whole New World.
All right, so I need you
Yes.
to sell me on this game.
Okay.
It might be hard or easy because I've already bought the thing.
Okay.
But it needs to go from a purchase that I'll never play to
Okay.
something that I'll be playing on a regular basis.
This is easy.
Why?
This
am
is
I playing
easy.
This game.
This is easy.
Okay, go ahead.
This line, so I didn't craft this line, but it is something that I was thinking, but our friend Purger put it perfectly. New World is what I wanted Elder Scrolls Online to be.
Huh.
It is.
Ooh.
The combat is.
All right. Okay. See, if I heard that.
It is like, it's a different aesthetic, obviously, but
Right.
you level up by doing things, and then all those accumulate into a general experience bar that then goes up and lets you level up, and then you could level up your stats. So it's very Elder Scrolls in that way, or like old school Elder Scrolls, where, all right, you're using short swords, great, you're leveling up short swords. Like, that's what you're doing. So everything's tied to weapons. All the weapons feel completely different. The quests are, while they're definitely MMO quests, it's still fun to do them, and the resource gathering and crafting is so intuitive and so easy. It doesn't, like, you're not building houses, right? Like, you're not sitting there trying to build a camp and like, oh, I need mud. Like, it's not like that. It's, oh, you got wood, okay, now you could turn wood into timber, you can now turn timber into blah blah blah, you could, and then all of a sudden you're crafting swords and shields and armor and like all this other stuff, and you're like, oh, cool. And then it's got the Diablo loop, where you pick up the green shit until you find the blue shit, and then you pick up the blue shit until you find the, the yellow gold shit, whatever, and like you're just, or the purple shit, and like you're just making numbers go up. But the world is huge, and there's a cool mechanic based on, so like you pick a guild or whatever it is that you're a part of, and you could do missions for that guild in that area, and the more you do, the more points your guild gets, and then the more territory you could take over. And when you take over territory, you can, it's the factions, right? Thank you, Miss Envy. You can influence things like taxes on other players, or the speed at which that they get to do certain things in that area, but your faction gets bonuses because you own that territory. So it's really cool like that. There's also a solid PvP aspect that I don't dabble in just because I don't want to. But it's a really, really, really good it's an MMO. It's an MMO's ass MMO. Like, let's not, whatever. But it's got enough going on that if you decide, hey, I want to just do quests and check off boxes, like in The Witcher, let's say, or Skyrim, whatever, you could do that. If you want to just sit there and grind materials because you want to make a cool sword, you can do that. And when you make swords, you could add augments to it, and like as you're crafting them, they're random. So like they'll have random stats, but you could influence kind of what kind of weapons you do. So it's really cool. I really like it a lot. I can't wait to play it again, but they need to increase servers or let us migrate as soon as possible, because there are sometimes 2, 3, 4 hour long waits to get into a server, and it's pretty bad. All right, Andy, we're almost at the 14-minute mark, and it is now time to get into the indie news update, in which there are 5 items on here, my friend. 5
Don't worry.
items.
We're gonna go through them really fast. All right. It's a lot of friends of the show updates, which I love doing on this segment. First things first. There's a game coming out by former guest of the show, 2-Star Games,
2-Star,
for My Beautiful Paper Smile. It's a game called Choo Choo Charles that I am now dropping in the chat that you should all wish list immediately.
It's a thing of nightmares.
It is a game that you play on a train that you can upgrade speed, guns, all that good stuff, while this demon snake train with this creepy ass smile, fucking Stephen King it face thing going on, is chasing you down the track.
That is correct.
You have to outrun it.
Yes.
This is a game that I love.
You
I
know,
haven't played it yet. I've only seen it.
you know what this game is, right?
What is this game, Steve?
This is Pac-Man. That's what this game is.
Oh, someone corrupted Pac-Man.
That's all this is. It is the same exact mechanics as Pac-Man.
Goodness.
Go around, try and go fast, avoid the thing chasing
But
you.
You're playing as from the other end though. You're being chased by Pac-Man.
I was gonna say the ghost is behind you, but okay, you could go that way.
Right.
You could go that way.
I
What
love
else we got?
Soon to be guest of the show,
Oh,
creator of Dead Cells, is making a new game. It's just out pretty fucking soon.
I didn't hear anything about this, so I'm gonna click this.
Me either. Nuclear Blaze. It's a unique 2D firefighting game.
Oh, okay.
And you like fight against backdrafts and exploding walls.
Oh, I don't hate this at all.
Don't work. It looks fucking hella cute.
This is like a shooter, but like no
Yeah.
enemies. Like
Yeah.
you just gotta. It's got a lot of platforming. I might suck at it.
It's okay. It's all part of the fun. Look at that. Error pumps offline. Containment gate. Cool stuff.
That's pretty good. That's
But
pretty
yeah,
cool.
it's like what a strange but also equally awesome follow-up
Yes.
to fucking Dead Cells, a game that was loved by many, and this will also follow suit.
And played by a lot of people.
Yes.
Speaking of guests of the show, Andy, let's get to the next one.
I know. Trick Shot.
Trick Shot. One of my
Trick
more
Shot
anticipated video games, I think, of all time.
Now, Trick Shot came on the show
Yes.
with an idea and a build for an awesome game
Yes.
that was Tony Hawk and Quake combined, and we were like, "What is this game?" Fast forward to over a year later,
Yes.
they're at freaking Tokyo Game Show.
Tokyo Game Show, you jerks.
They got. It's happening. It's coming out. It's now on Steam. Wishlist that shit and help the old algorithm. Because that's how we do it here.
Because how awesome is Tony Hawk with guns? Like, honestly, think about that. Think about that. It's Tony Hawk with guns. If you're watching live, click that link, watch it, because it's awesome.
Next, an update for
Another former guest
of the show.
Holy
Obsidian
smokes. That's right.
is making Grounded fucking flying off of the ground with all these crazy updates.
That's right. Big update. Big updates.
So it is the Hot and Hazy update in this massive crab sandbox area.
Mm-hmm.
It's an actual children's toy sandbox.
Yes.
That's littered with buried treasure.
Ooh.
And it looks insane. And this game only costs $30. Is that right?
That's correct.
Holy fuck.
Well,
That
$0 if you have Game Pass.
No, I'm saying for like those who have just a PC
Yep.
and want to, or like an Xbox that don't have Game Pass, this game is surprisingly cheap.
Yeah. No, it's
Holy fuck.
well, to be fair, when it came out, it was barely a game.
Right.
So, like,
Right.
it was basically a demo of like what they want to do,
Sure.
and it was great. It was fun. Like all of that was fun, but let's call it, a spade at this point. That was a early access. It's still an early access game, but you were paying $30 for an early access.
Right.
But it's good stuff, man.
And
We should get them back on the show.
Finally, even though they're not indie, but they once were, our good friends at Firesprite
Yes.
have just completed their acquisition, or from Sony, or by Sony.
That link does not work, by the way.
Don't
That
matter.
is a bad link.
Don't matter. It's fine.
Okay.
But there was a little twist here.
A twist?
Apparently, Firesprite was also acquiring some other game company called Fabric. So it was like a 2-for-1 special with this deal.
Yeah.
And they got like 15 to 20 more devs out of the package and are working on a sci-fi horror game. So
okay.
good shit.
Yeah.
That's how you get like 5 games in one deal, PlayStation.
You did it.
That was really good. That was good shit.
Well, as we know, PlayStation is desperate for first-party
They do.
exclusives.
They
They're
have
desperate.
They have all of.
They have
the 5
none.
games.
They've never gotten any.
But now they're up to 0. So
Yes.
We're getting
They
there.
had -5, but we're good now.
Getting there. Steven,
Yes.
take us into the news report.
Oh
with
my
this
God!
first
It's
piece of news.
Stop the presses. A problem has happened. Everybody stop what you're doing right now. Go to twitch.com and change your password. Also, be really mad at how much money people make because, ladies and gentlemen, there has been a hell of a Twitch hack. That's right. An anonymous hacker has claimed to have leaked the entirety of Twitch. Let me explain. Let me say that again. All of Twitch was leaked. What does that mean? That doesn't mean just usernames and passwords. They have that. That's easy. A lot of people get that in these hacks. They got source code for the website. They got anything that was ever attached to twitch.com, twitch.tv, I should say. They leaked it, including how much money people made in the last 2 years. And it's only 2 years, so whatever.
Right.
All the creator payouts, which is banana. All for everything. We're not even talking about just the PC. We're talking about the phone app. We're talking about console apps. We're talking about every single thing that has anything to do with
How does
Twitch.
this happen?
It has been taken. So Critical Role is your top earner from August 2019 to October 2021 with $9,626,702.
My God, $10 million fucking dollars.
Tim the Tatman, who left Twitch not too long ago for YouTube, for greener pastures, made over $3.2 million in the last 2 years. And this is
for more money.
By the way, this is only subs and bits. This has nothing to do with donations.
Nope.
Or store or anything like that.
Nope.
So you could safely double that probably. Shroud, 2,040,000. Shroud. Okay, there's Shroud again. Let's keep going here. Ninja, 1,378,791. Mostly because the people that watch him are baby children. So they don't all have money, you know what I mean?
Dual Screens TV.
No, hold on. Where is it? Dual Screen Streams. Hold on.
100.
At last 2 years, $270. That's not bad.
Love it.
Right, that's not bad. Batchild. Ooh, Batchild's way down there. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate.
But seriously, how does a leak of this magnitude happen to someone like Twitch?
I don't know, but I kind of feel bad for Know Nothing TV because September 2021 payout was $0. I feel bad for them. Pokimane made almost $40,000 in September. That's not bad. That's not bad. Saikuno made almost $114,000. Anyway, the reason we're saying this is change your password and also maybe stop giving the same people a lot of money. Spread the love, all right? Spread the love.
Or consider a career in Twitch. Maybe you can make.
Please give me all your dollars. He made $300. Now Adam Cole made $300,000 in 2 years. That was a 2 year aggregate. Adam Cole. It's pretty good.
Pretty goddamn.
It's pretty good. $150K a year. Hell yeah, I'd do that for. I would do that. Are you kidding me? I will stream 12 hours every day for $150K a year.
If it was guaranteed, then yes.
Speaking of money, Andy, take us into the next one.
Oh, this is weird. I don't like this at all because it's weird.
Okay.
Netflix bought Night School Studio.
Yeah. Okay. This is strange. I have opinions. You could tell us a little bit about it, and then I have opinions.
So I think this confirms there was a story that broke out a little bit before this acquisition. I think it was Sony Music was saying how we're going to see gaming be the next area that kind of shrinks and gets consolidated by other people, by the big fish.
Right.
It's going to get small. Like you'll have like 5 or 6 big kahunas owning all the fucking developers. I mean, hyperbole, yes, because there's just so many developers out there.
Anyone who makes anything that's worth a damn, is going to be under the microscope.
Yeah, they're begging for a publishing partner, but it seems like if you have any sort of clout, if you made a semi-good and successful game, someone's gonna want you. Right. And Netflix is now tossing their hat in the ring, saying, "Yep, we're buying game studios now, and we're doing this." it's going to be odd seeing how this works for Netflix. Is it going to be, well, it's our game, so we'll have like, you can pay to have it published on your other platforms, Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft? Don't know.
I think this is a company that cannot ignore how hugely successful the gaming industry is. So
right,
I think
they
this
want
is
that piece of the pie.
Yeah, I think this is a diversification of their output. I really think that's all it is. And the overhead is way less when you're purchasing like this, because yes, they're going to be under your payroll, but you already have all of your structure there. You have your payment structure, you have, all of your employees that, yes, they're going to have to go through some orientation, training, blah, 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 because now they're going to, they'll be under another thing.
Maybe this is how Netflix makes money, finally.
Maybe.
Because they're not a profitable model.
I think that they are going to
this could be a way
come out with a controller and let you play Netflix games through the Netflix app?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Because that's still like cloud gaming is still prohibitively expensive.
They're going to repurpose all those old Stadia controllers with a Netflix logo. That's what they're going to do.
You could do that. So regardless, I guess good for night school, I guess. Yeah. I mean, Oxenfree.
Great game.
Yeah.
Totally great game.
Great game.
I didn't see why they'd be up for sale. I mean, first game likely made money because it wasn't that much to produce. It was an expensive game. Part 2 is coming out. People were like all excited about that. Now it's like, oh, guess what? Now we're owned by Netflix.
Yeah.
Weird times.
Speaking of acquisitions, Andy.
Yes.
Finally, Sony has finally announced what we already all knew.
From last year?
From before the summer.
Look, it was a while ago.
It was spring. Bluepoint Games is finally officially under the PlayStation umbrella. Of course, Bluepoint, they remake great games and bring them to the forefront. But Demon's Souls was their most recent success. So obviously this is a great thing for Sony, for PlayStation fans. They're a fantastically talented studio, so this is going to be great to see what they can do, and hopefully, of course, that's with new IP, which was addressed. PlayStation, Bluepoint's, excuse me, not PlayStation. Bluepoint's next game is planned to be an original and not a remake. So my heart is crushed. It's broken, and you might as well just throw it in the garbage, because I am not getting a Dark Cloud remake.
Hold your horses, Steven. Hold your horses.
How can I hold them?
You don't just go and acquire Bluepoint and not have them do the thing they're known for at some point down the line. Original content to me sounds like weird code for not new IP. I feel like this could be
Demon's Souls 2?
An expansion, a sequel, something in that realm. But when you don't say explicitly, because when Sony Bend announced we're doing a new IP, guys, not Days Gone 2, cool, clear, obvious. Original content, I don't know. It's a weird way of saying a new IP, but you're not saying new IP in that phrase.
Yes.
But to my earlier point, yes, I think the next step from being like the master of remakes is to tackle either an original sequel based off a known property, which is exciting, or doing your own thing, which is also exciting. But at some point, you're going to come back and be like, all right, guys, it's time to remake Legend of Dragoon. It's time to remake Dark Cloud, because we got these properties and their games sell. 1.4 million in sales for Demon's Souls remake.
God, they could do so many. Yeah. They could do such great stuff with Dark Cloud, man.
They could. They really could. And I feel that's... I see a potential two-team thing happening within Bluepoint. One that does something crazy, new, small scale, and one that does like, okay, here's our next great PlayStation legacy franchise remake. Here's Ape Escape for you guys. But you know what I'm saying.
But
there's
rumors.
Colin Moriarty opened his mouth Take it away, Steven.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, Bluepoint Games is rumored to be working on a Bloodborne project. That's right.
Going back to Yharnam.
That's right. Colin Moriarty dropped a cryptic tease that Bluepoint Games may be working on a Bloodborne. Well, he says remake, but it's. He simply said on Twitter, "I'm hearing through the grapevine that Bluepoint Games may be on a journey to Yharnam." Some dank Yharnam nugs, my friends.
I love it. We've heard. I love how this Bloodborne remake PC release with like 4K, 60 frames has been rumored for like over a year, and now it's back again because Bluepoint got acquired. It's like you gotta love what happens when someone gets bought. It's like, oh yeah, here's the 8 things they're working on that we knew about all along that we're gonna tell the world about. But yeah, I don't think we need a Bloodborne remaster or remake from Bluepoint. It's way too early for
Part
that.
2.
You have Nixus for have them do a PC port / PS5 proper upgrade. Have them do that, and have these guys do a sequel. Do a Bloodborne.
I do want to say something because I know a little bit about what Colin has been going through the last few years. I check in and out. Like I don't watch it or listen to his content really anymore. But I know that when I did, he was essentially blacklisted from a lot. Like he doesn't get review codes for anything anymore. He basically, he's basically like us, except he has knowledge, like way more knowledge.
Right. He knows people,
and he's way much better spoken, which was ironic that that's how that sentence just came out of my mouth. But so the fact that he is claiming to have heard this through the grapevine, to me, speaks volumes. Because if he got any inkling from anybody, he's not one to do this. Like, he's just not. Because he doesn't have those contacts anymore. So the fact that he said anything maybe adds some credence to it. Speaking, like, you know what? We're going to go down this acquisition train because there's more acquisitions, Andy. There's time more, from good guy Microsoft, good guy Xbox coming in here with the purchasing, going in there with the bag of money and slamming it on the table like a big old hammer peen.
So everyone's favorite face you'd love to punch, Jeff Grubb.
Yeah, what a piece of garbage.
Just get a haircut and shave. That's all I ask of him. Just do that and you will be a lot less punchable. I mean, I love the man, but just like, please, some self-care, some grooming, a little bit.
I can't speak to that. I look like a goddamn mess every time, every day.
Reporting that Xbox may be trialing, so if I'm putting this, trialing a Tomb Raider Just Cause and Hitman Studios acquisition by having them make some games for them first. So here's the exact quote from Jeff. I think that's where Xbox is at right now, where they're happy with what they have, so they can pump the brakes a little bit, and then they say, okay, let's look around, let's see what we can purchase. And it seems that he believes that who they're basically trying out or will try out is potentially Crystal Dynamics, who we now know is working on Perfect Dark with the initiative, by the by. Avalanche, who is making Contraband for them, so there's that link already, and IO, who is working on the 007 game, but a rumored exclusive game for the Xbox.
Interesting.
So yeah, I don't see Square Enix giving up their largest Western developer, because Crystal Dynamics, while has a spotty record, does make them money with the games they develop. And I'm pretty sure when Whatchamacallit comes out in a few weeks, Guardians, that's going to make a fuck ton of cash for Square. So there's that.
I can't believe that's so close.
I know. But I do see potentially Avalanche and IO being in the crosshairs for an acquisition by Microsoft at some point if their respective games do perform well for Xbox. So we'll see. But again, I like the idea of we have a lot of stuff in the catalog. We had like all these studios. let's get some games out. Finally,
Yep.
see how that goes, and then all right, let's see who's on the market. Let's see who wants to come join Team Xbox. But yeah, but again, this is going to end for anyone, be it Sony, Microsoft, or apparently Netflix. It's just going to keep going and keep going, and that's the way it is. Except for Nintendo, they don't give a fuck. They're like, we have Metroid, so give us your money,
Yes.
and you will.
Speaking of, we have more news on what could be happening on the Xbox front.
Yes.
It looks like Behavior Interactive might have be developing or like almost done develop. I don't really know, but there is a resume. I believe that's what this is. Somebody's resume. I don't know, what is this.
So this is from a LinkedIn.
Okay, so it's somebody's resume. Okay. Behavior Interactive, this person has 5 years experience, and the top one is a level designer for an unannounced AAA project for PC and Xbox One. And that development has been from August 2019 to the present, which has been 2 years, 3 months. They did level layout, level scripting, combat encounters, working closely with level artists, debugging, polish, which is an interesting thing, and Unreal Engine 4. And they also did Assassin's Creed Rebellion on iOS and Android, and a couple of other canceled first-person shooter for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. So there's something out there that has been unannounced that Behavior Interactive, friends of the show, friend of the show.
So I love how we just got finished saying how we don't know people, and here it's like we can just ask them about this rumor. But I can say a few things on this, just so people know what this is all about. Yes, Behavior is working on a AAA game for Microsoft. They have for like the last 10 years, because Behavior is like 1,000 developer team, and they've lent support to so many Microsoft titles. So what this is if you scroll through any number of Microsoft rumored games, be it some unannounced project by Obsidian, or, you know, the guys making Fable, what their other project is, or even this potential IO game that's on Microsoft's side, this is, without a doubt, in a support status for Behavior. They're there. They're doing what
Contract work.
Crystal's doing for Initiative.
Okay.
That's what this is. This isn't some brand new second party deal on Behavior's end that they contracted out from Microsoft. Okay, make us like a Dead by Daylight single player game for Xbox. This is what they've always done, and that's why they're so huge. They have a lot of talent and a lot of fucking people, and yeah, it's contract work. So working on the game, yes. Making the game solely for Microsoft, nah.
Well, you said it, not me. Speaking of working on games, and probably not at all in any capacity.
Oh God, I love my tagline for this. By the way, can you read it?
I can read it. Konami rumored to stop sucking. That's the headline here. You should just write when you're doing. See, this is why I need you motivated.
Because
if you could just you could do this.
Headline.
You could do this on our website and get clicks. Like, you just be like, Konami rumored to stop sucking according to Kotaku. Blah 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 blah. Just regurgitate that shit. Throw it out there. Get them clicks. Anyway, why? How are they promising this, Andy?
Okay, so again, I love it whenever there's like when someone gets bought by someone, everyone comes out the woodwork like, oh, I've heard all these things about other companies X, Y, and Z. So we have VGC, who is saying that Konami is working on a Castlevania Reimagining.
Oh fuck!
Which is being done internally.
Oh no!
which makes me want to die a little bit because the last time they did that, we got Metal Gear Survive and Contra Rogue Core, which was ass. So don't. So Konami, don't.
Oh no.
I know you have good intentions.
I'm so sad for you.
I know it's like we had this beloved IP, but stop it.
You have battered husband or whatever, battered wife
wife
it is.
syndrome, yeah.
You have this. Like, Konami's not good, man.
Oh no.
They haven't been good for
Steven,
a decade or more.
We didn't even get to Silent Hill yet, but we'll get to there in a minute.
Let's please do.
So, then, apparently, they're working on a bunch of Metal Gear Solid stuff.
Oh no.
Some potential ports, remakes, HD Resi up thingies. But the big one here is that Virtuous, the Chinese developer famous for ports on the Switch, okay, is working on a Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. And for some reason, it won't be using the Fox engine. So there's that.
Andy, are you familiar with the hit 90s sitcom Everybody Loves Raymond?
I do.
Okay, you're familiar. Okay.
Yeah.
You know how Deborah,
Yes.
I think that's her name, right? Yeah.
Yes.
You know how like she'll make dinner and everyone would be like, "Oh no, she made dinner."
Right. Because it's
Deborah
horrible.
is Konami.
Yeah.
Where you why are you making this? Why can I just help you? Please? Can you get anyone else to do this for you? Can we get Marie over here to make this meal?
Right. Oh, Steven, I'm so glad you went down this metaphor analogy route.
Okay.
Because every now and then, Deborah can make a kick-ass steak pizzaiola
Okay.
that outperforms Marie's.
I remember this episode.
Okay. Because she got it right once.
She did it once.
And the getting it right might be in this last bit of news, which I feel is a personal attack on me.
Oh.
I feel for my birthday, I got a Do Silent Hill rumor that thought I was done with, but here I am again
Here we are.
on the fucking crazy ass spider train of my life.
Yes.
That are these rumors.
Okay.
Gematsu is reporting after we've had at least 2 years of Silent Hill reboots, reimaginings, a Silent Hills Kojima helmed revival. After all that, from anonymous clout seekers on different Twitter accounts all over the web, on Reddit, Gematsu, who doesn't like to do the rumor thing a lot because they're about reporting
integrity.
They know, has reported that a Silent Hill game is in the works as a PS5 exclusive, funded by Sony and being developed by Hideo Kojima from an undisclosed publishing source who wants to remain anonymous. Steven, we've gone down this road so many times I can't even count with you alone on the show. But this feels more real now than it's ever felt. And I want to die a little bit because as much hope as I have the darkness clawing away at it inside. It happens every time.
I have no commentary for this because I just don't even want to give anything more to this. I just don't.
I just want to stop talking about it, but here it is. How do you avoid this stuff? It's like, how? You can't avoid it. I can't not address this.
Uh-huh.
But please, if you're doing Castlevania, let someone else do it. From Software, pay those guys. You know, let's do that. They'll do Platinum Games.
Did you feel the other day?
Yes.
I think it was yesterday.
Yes, it was yesterday.
Did you feel the ground actually shake from all
I did.
the people jumping out of their chairs?
I very truly.
Did you?
I saw video evidence of people losing their collective shit.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, the final Smash character has finally been revealed. And ladies and gentlemen, I am ecstatic to say that Sora from Kingdom Hearts is finally in Smash Bros. Now here's the thing.
Go for it.
This is, aside from Cloud, Sephiroth, that's it. This is the only acceptable Sword Boy that I would allow.
It had to be a Sword Boy too.
It had to be a Sword Boy. We got another Sword character, but you know what? It's Sora. Fits right in. Am I wrong or am I right?
I think you're right.
I'm watching this as you're talking.
I feel two ways about this, Steven.
You do.
On the one hand, I see Nintendo's game here. It's like Sora is crazy popular. That's a face that people know and love.
That's correct.
And it's going to get them dollars. And it also helps sell some of those Kingdom Hearts cloud-only Switch releases. They also announced alongside this thing, which is...
Yes, they did. They did.
Which, you know what? As a side note, I would love to see the sales data on Switch-only cloud games like Control and Kingdom Hearts in the future, because I'd be shocked if those sold well at all. But I digress.
But did I imagine this, or was GTA 5 a cloud game too? Did I imagine that?
Oh no! Wait for the remaster version. That's gonna be at the.
I'm
Switch.
sorry. I might be just making that up in my brain.
Again, and I love Sora, but a part of me really wanted this last one to be something that was just Nintendo. That felt like it was from within, its own family, its own brand, its own character.
Oh, if you think this is the final character, you're
I don't know,
sad.
dude. I think this is it. I think Sakurai's like, I'm done with this nonsense. You all are nuts. Me wearing a purple armband meant Waluigi. I'm getting death threats from all you lunatics, and most of you smell bad who play Smash. I'm done. I'm fucking done. So yeah, I feel like this is the final one, and let the man rest for a little bit. And yeah, that's that.
What is life?
I don't know. But speaking about numbers, Steve,
yeah, a lot of very large numbers.
Speaking about numbers, Game Pass has 30 million subscribers.
30 mil.
Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick.
Strauss.
So let's look for the exact quote here. He was talking on something, and he was complimenting Spencer's work and Game Pass current subscription numbers.
Philip
He
Spencer.
says, you've got around 30 million subs. Yada yada yada, something like that. So okay, not accurate, but we have two asterisks
Oh, asterisks.
with this.
Okay.
The first asterisk was Mr. Phil, and I will never call that man Uncle Phil, because there's only one Uncle Phil to me, and that's
James Avery.
yes, the late great James Avery. Mr. Phil said,
Rest in peace.
"Oh no, guys, it's 18 million. That was our last official number. I don't know what this 30 million is all about, but that was like a while ago,
Right.
January of this year." But then our good old beardy friend Jeff Grubb,
That was before Halo.
Jeff Grubb, chimed in saying, "Yeah, I don't know, because last I heard it was like under 23, and if it was at 30, they would have said something." So the bottom line is, whether it's 30 now, 30 a year from now, this thing is still growing. And when you take into effect adding games like Scarlet Nexus recently to the roster, with all the other good shit it has to offer as well.
1/3 of a Halo game.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's huge, Andy.
Yes. And when those other 2/3 come in, it's gonna be.
That's the thing about Infinite, Andy.
We'll get them 30 million.
You could cut Infinite into a third. It's still Infinite.
Right. But again, listen, bottom line is it's a great service, and it's gonna grow and get.
It'll be the only reason why I give Avengers a try.
It's gonna reach 30. Well, it's also on PS Now. You could do that too if you wanted to.
I don't think so. I don't
want to do that.
I don't want to taint my PS5 hard drive with that.
Right. Yeah, and just to add to that, the addition of a lot
of Xbox news,
successful Game Pass edition with Scarlet Nexus, comes the most ridiculous, asinine quote.
Oh, I have comments for this.
I've heard from a human being, and I sat there and I was like, this is such an American way of thinking, where it's the world around you is closed off. It's only what I'm doing that matters, and I'm doing the good shit. So,
okay.
Tokyo Game Show 2021.
Yep, that was the thing that happened.
Phil Spencer, Xbox, wants to, quote unquote, help bring Japanese games around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Phil, you already have things that do that. They're called the PlayStation and the Switch. So I really don't know what you're going on about with getting more Japanese games to people around the world when they've been doing it for a very long time with the Switch and the PlayStation. Now, I understand that the sentiment here is more we want to add a lot of Japanese games to Game Pass, and then we'll get more Japanese games to more people who can only afford, say, $15 a month. And get more exposure to it.
Philip! Let Japan die!
But
it's not gonna happen! You can't win Japan! Let it go! It's been 2 decades! It's not working! Move on, Phil! They don't want your green shit! They like blue! They like red! They don't like your green shit! They don't want to buy it! They don't want to play it! They don't want to look at it! They want smaller consoles, not bigger consoles. That's the only reason why you made the Series S, and you know it.
Steven. Did you know that some stores have just stopped purchasing Xbox Series consoles because they're not moving at all? Like, we're not gonna even stock this thing in our shop anymore because it's not moving. I've said it before. It would take Microsoft to acquire Japan for Japan to care about Xbox. It's just, listen, I go over some sales data every now and then, and you look at the Xbox One, you look at the Series X, they're kind of like in a neck and neck situation in Japan. It's maybe going a little bit more uptick in the Series X, slightly, but numbers wise, you're talking about selling hundreds of consoles a week. When you have the Switch selling 100 consoles a week and PS5 selling like 50,000 consoles a week. So listen, it's admirable. I like the idea. If you want to money hat Japanese studios and put a bunch of their shit on Game Pass, so I don't have to pay for it, go for it. But you're not going to crack Japan as a marketplace. You're going to see mild success, but this is all it's all puffing, as Judge Judy likes to say. It's all just salesmanship. It's all used car salesman crap, which is what this man loves to do. He knows how to spin a good line, but Japan, I've been there. The Xbox section in a typical electronics store is like, it's like half a rack. So it would take a lot for them to care. And even when Microsoft tried to get the likes of like a Blue Dragon, Lost Odyssey, big high profile JRPGs on the 360, no one here liked it. No one here bought it. And Japan didn't respond. Japan now loves a Western take on a Japanese game more. Ghost of Tsushima, Game of the Year in Japan, alongside Monster Hunter Rise. So I think you need to find some other way to appeal to that market, because what you're doing now, it's not working.
The best way that they could do it, Andy, put Game Pass Cloud on Switch.
It would have to be that would be the key. They'd have to be like, listen, we'll pay you Bethesda money to get Game Pass on Switch.
Yeah.
It would take that level of dollars.
Yes, and we promise we won't put any games that are also out on Switch ever.
Right.
Ever. Not even the same IP. We will not put a Monster Hunter World on there. No.
Right.
It's not going on there. You guys have Rise. We won't do it.
Yeah. It would take.
We're gonna put Microsoft published games.
That's the move. That's the move.
Microsoft published games only on the Nintendo xCloud.
You know what? Listen, if the Steam Deck takes off in Japan, they could always do Game Pass and play the games on that thing too.
That's true.
That's an option.
Well, not really. You would have to load Windows onto it.
You'll find the way. You'll find the way.
It's not what it's made for, but yes. Right. Amazon. Let's talk about New World again.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're gonna what do you call it? There?
This.
Bookend it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna Chinese finger trap this one. Okay.
Love it.
New World is already Steam's most played game of 2021.
Good God, it's October.
Yes. Even with server queues, New World is already Steam's most played new game of 2021. The previous contender, the Swedish Viking simulator Valheim, which I also played and enjoy. That game topped out at 500,000 concurrent players in February. As of this writing, which this is coming from GeekWire, Steam DB has pegged New World's peak at 707,230 players. It puts New World into number 5 all-time spot for concurrent players on Steam, behind PlayerUnknown's Battleground, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Dota 2, and Cyberpunk 2077, which shocks me. Man, so what's really cool, what I think helps with New World, aside from it being just a really nicely put together game, there's no sub fee.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
You know, Final Fantasy 14, the subscription is very prohibitive for me.
Right.
I'm tired of that. I'm tired of paying subscription. Like if I was to play Final Fantasy 14 on the service I want to play it on, which would be my PlayStation 5, I would need to actually, you don't need PS Plus anymore to play MMOs, right? Didn't they take that caveat away?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. At least I think they did. But either way, it's like you're paying enough for shit. Like you charge for DLC, you charge for all your expansion packs. Just no more. Just make a game, let it come out. I'll still pay for expansions. You think you're not going to pay for expansions on New World? You absolutely are. There's going to be plenty of expansion content that you're probably going to pay. It's not going to be, in my opinion, I don't think they go the $60 route per expansion. I don't think they do it like that. They could, like maybe once a year, come out with a big expansion, or they do a smaller $10 to $20 expansions, $15 expansions, whatever. Right. I think they've already said that they are currently not going to be worrying about future content. They are making some, but they're worried about their stability, bug fixes, making the current product as good as it could possibly be, which includes that they're going to be allowing server migration, because, for example, you know, oh, this server's got a good population, I'm going to start there. And then your friend gets it 2 days later and can't make a character in that server. So now you can't play with your friend because the server has a gajillion players. That sucks. So now they're adding servers, and they're eventually very soon going to let you migrate. So you can tell your friends, hey, we're moving over to this server, and you could all move together and play together, which would be great. And yes, Bone Jangle says in our chat, there are rumors that Amazon Prime members will get free expansions. I don't know how true that is. I don't know. The definition of expansions is very loose in that way, because technically right now you get a lot of Twitch exclusive content just from Twitch drops, and from Amazon Prime, or I'm sorry, the Prime Gaming perks from Twitch. So there are a lot of stuff. And Buzz, they did confirm that it will not cost money to migrate servers. You get to move one character one time for free. Well, any character, as far as what I read, any character at least one time for free. If you want to move that character again, you're probably gonna have to pay.
With your soul. You're gonna have to
which
pay.
is fine. I mean, as long as you go into a server that's low populated, that you can just play with your friends, it doesn't matter. Like, really.
So I have just one thought on this whole
yes,
New World thing is
sure.
I just love seeing Amazon find success in this marketplace. I feel like it's nice having someone other than the big three have like a big hit game that's like homegrown, that they sort of put together. It wasn't like, let's buy some giant publisher or just do all this fucking nonsense. It's they took a chance on this market and they found huge success, and I want to see them grow in this space, because this means more games for all of us. So
You know what's
good job, Amazon.
You
Good
know
job.
what's fucked?
What's fucked, Steven?
This success for New World is barely its own cell in an Excel spreadsheet for Jeff Bezos.
Oh yeah.
Like, he's probably like, what the fuck is New World?
Right.
And why did I just make $2.5 million yesterday from it?
Do we just buy a third world country?
Did we just do we own an island?
Did we discover something new? Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
Even the hype zone.
Talk to me about this hype zone, because this is fucked.
The hype zone, and a note for all future hype zones: if this particular subject matter is in the news, you will only ever find it in the hype zone, because up until the point it is real, it will be pure fantasy. Bloomberg is reporting.
Oh God, Bloomberg.
Once again, that developers are making games for a 4K console on the Nintendo side that does not exist. At least 11 companies, including Zynga, have tools from Nintendo to make 4K.
What the fuck does Zynga need a 4K machine for?
Guys, the 4K Switch is back on the menu. But to clarify, Zynga said that they do not have a 4K developer kit from Nintendo. Bloomberg, stop. Okay. Stop it. I need like a newspaper roll-up thing right now, because you need to stop. Okay. For all you listening out there, a 4K Switch comes out of your mouths.
How about just give us an HD Switch?
It's gonna be in the section.
How about give us not a 720 Switch? How about that?
No, the best you're gonna get is a nicer screen
My phone does 4K.
and an unflimsy kickstand.
My phone is $1,000.
And you're gonna pay $50 more for it, and you're gonna like it. Okay, that's what you're gonna do. All right.
I hate everything.
All
I
right.
hate everything.
Wow, that was an hour, and we went through like so much news.
We went through a lot of news, Andy.
I am a horse.
So I have a question of the week.
Oh.
But it's not from me.
Oh.
So Danny Saldano in our Facebook group actually asked a question of the group and got a few answers, got a little conversation going, but I thought you and I should answer this.
Oh, please. Yes, let's do it.
So Danny says, jumping back into some classics I missed out on playing, but always wanted to play. I just beat Gears of War 2 and 3 and looking for the next one. So, if you had to choose the next game of these 6, what would you choose? Red Dead Redemption, the first one.
Okay.
Skyrim.
Okay.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Okay.
Gears of War 4.
Okay.
Uncharted.
Okay.
Or Batman Arkham Knight.
Ooh, okay. So right off the bat, Skyrim goes away, Gears goes away, Batman goes away. Red Dead, Uncharted. I'm going to say Red Dead. Because if you fall in love with Red Dead, you just got Red Dead 2. If you fall in love with Uncharted, there's like 5 more games to play.
Okay.
So you can wipe out that franchise fast and nasty-ish on the Red Dead side. And I feel like the original Red Dead is like required reading at this point. It's an amazing game.
I want to agree with you, but I have one bit of information you don't have.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I know Danny personally, and I know that he really likes RPGs and he likes high fantasy. So I'm gonna lean towards Skyrim.
Okay.
Because I think he will specifically enjoy that. Not because it's better than Red Dead Redemption, because I think Red Dead Redemption, if Skyrim wasn't on this list, I would say Red Dead. The only reason why I'm not saying Uncharted is because the first one is really fucking hard to play right now.
I have a rebuttal.
You have a rebut. Okay, rebut, please.
Point.
Yes, please rebut.
You sound like you know Danny fairly well.
I knew him for a bit, yes.
Now,
I don't know him, his current
the
tastes.
question I have
Yes.
is, how does someone who likes high fantasy have not played Skyrim yet?
Because he missed out on a lot of games. He hasn't been. He went to college. He got an education. He worked. He got married. He had kids. You know what I mean?
But I feel like if you lean towards that specific kind of game and the genre, and
you know what? Fuck it. Let's call him.
Look in the fit. Oh, we're doing it live.
We're doing it live.
Hello?
Danny Saldano, you're on Dual Screens Crossplay podcast. I have a question for you.
Tell me.
Did you choose your game from that list yet?
I went with Skyrim.
Skyrim. Okay, that's what I thought. See, I knew you were going to pick Skyrim because I know you like... He said Skyrim. Yes, he did.
He did say Skyrim.
He did. So Andy suggested Red Dead Redemption, and if Skyrim wasn't on this list,
I went with it.
No. Here's the thing. I would have said that as well, but I know that you like RPGs.
Yeah.
And I know you like high fantasy.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're like that. Those types of universes. Final Fantasy stuff, specific. So that is why I would have suggested Skyrim. But thank you, because that question became our question of the week. So I appreciate you putting that in the group and for us to discuss here.
Doing, but let me tell you, this game is terrible so far.
Oh, really? Terrible.
I have no desire to play it. It's not aged well.
They have a definitive edition coming out very soon.
Well, Danny, you can keep it.
You should quit while you're ahead, Danny.
Andy says quit while you're ahead.
Ordered from Amazon, just sitting on my couch waiting to be opened, and I might do it, but
which
I haven't had the first Red Dead.
Yeah, to play that game.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna.
Yeah, just do it. Just do it.
You know what I've been playing, actually?
Oh, man. What?
Speaking of old games, I bought a PSP last year. I've been playing Chrono Trigger.
Hell yeah, you have.
Look at this
man.
That's a classic. That is beautiful.
Is taking my heart from my chest.
Consistently
I love it so much.
number one RPG.
Number one, without a doubt. One of our commenters or viewers says Skyrim is wide as an ocean but deep as a puddle.
Yeah, I don't know. Not my thing.
Danny, thank you so much for taking the phone call, and thank you for supporting us. And I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.
Love you, man.
Bye.
Bye.
Can we do that more often on the show?
Why not? If I have their number, yeah, sure.
We should make a list of all who wants to give us their number. But we'll call you at random. We'll call you at random.
I've called Buzz. I've called Buzz before.
I know.
He actually ignored my call. he sent me to voicemail.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, he sent me to voicemail.
But that was nice. It's nice to see that you were right, but then there was also regret on Danny's side. So I kind of feel vindication in that.
Well,
choice.
you know what? Skyrim is one of those games that is difficult to get into now. But once you kind of get that snowball rolling down the hill,
Right.
I
But,
feel
you
like
know,
you can get completely lost in it.
It's not going to get any better with a definitive version. It's the same core game. It's not going to radically change what that game is.
Before we move on,
And end the
show, I'm going to read some of the comments in here.
Please go ahead.
Anthony Marino says, Arkham Knight is amazing, but it gets a little tedious with all the Batmobile stuff you have to do. So not an answer at all. Basically gives him a reason not to play Batman. Mikey Kirsch says, play something like Red Dead or Skyrim in conjunction with Uncharted and Gears. That way you can make progress in a 100-hour game while you burn through some of the shorter ones. Mm-hmm. And of course, Danny just explains that he can't do that. It's impossible for him to jump between games. Tracy says Skyrim. That's the comment. And I actually said Uncharted, mostly because I wanted to play all of them because I think I love them. Mm-hmm. And that's it. That's what I have for you. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to bring us to the end of the show. Thank you so much for watching and listening. If you like what you're listening, if you like what you're hearing, and this is still going to be on Apple Podcasts, do me a favor. Come on, rate the show. You know?
Yeah.
Rate the show.
Just do it.
Open up your iPhone, iPad, or iPod if you're living in 2013. Open that shit up. Please review the show.
Yeah, like
leave a comment. Leave a review.
Yeah.
Help us out, man. Just do it. Just do it. If you don't have Apple, just go into your browser, type in Apple or iTunes, whatever it is, Apple Podcast in your browser, find the show, log in, leave a review. It's simple. It's so simple. Mm-hmm. Anyway, thank you for watching on youtube.com/dualscreenstv and watching live, twitch.tv/dualscreens streams. Andy, this was a great show. Thank you so much for doing this.
You know, I loved it. I loved every second of this. Yeah,
it was a good ass show.
After 2 weeks and a lot of build up, it's like sweet release.
Sweet release.
Everyone's faces.
One might say this was the money shot.
It was.
This was the money.
Definitely was.
We will be back next week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to follow us on social media, we are at dual_screens. I am at Batchild27. Andy is at Pants Guy. Taylor is at It's Purger. And Corey is at The Grounded Gamer. That's a couple of D's. Facebook group is facebook.com/group/DS podcast. And again, thank you to all of your support. And as always, please be excellent to each other.